When you are helping a parent, it is easy to look at paperwork as just another pile. A folder on the table, mail stacked on the counter, insurance cards, medical papers, old bills, receipts, legal documents, and things you are not even sure are still important. Because it looks so ordinary, it is easy to think, I will get to that later. But one thing I am learning is this. Your parents' paperwork is not just paperwork. It is access. It is proof. It is direction. It is protection. And sometimes, it is the thing that helps you take the next step when something unexpected happens. Paperwork may not feel urgent when life is calm, but when there is a hospital visit, a missed bill, a medication question, an insurance issue, or a decision that needs to be made quickly, those papers can suddenly become very important. And if you cannot find them, the stress can feel even heavier. This video is not about creating a perfect filing system. It is not about organizing every piece of paper in one day. It is about why knowing where important documents are can make a hard moment a little less confusing. One reason paperwork matters is because it often proves something. It may prove insurance coverage, identity, payment, medical instructions, legal authority, or that something was completed, renewed, signed, approved, or requested. When you are trying to help your parent, people may ask for proof before they can help you. A doctor's office, pharmacy, hospital, bank, or insurance company may need documentation before they can help you, explain something, or make changes. And in those moments, it is not enough to say, I think my parent has that somewhere. You need to know where it is. That is when paperwork stops feeling like clutter and starts becoming a key. The key that opens the next conversation. The key that helps you answer a question. The key that helps you protect your parent from confusion, delays, or unnecessary stress. Paperwork also matters because it helps you answer questions when your memory is not enough. If you have ever been asked a question about your parent and did not know the answer, you know how uncomfortable that can feel. What medications do they take? Who is their primary doctor? What pharmacy do they use? What insurance do they have? Who handles the bills? Where are the important documents? Is there a power of attorney or advance directive? Are there papers that need to be updated? Sometimes the hard part is not the question itself. The hard part is realizing that you do not know where to look. And when everything is in someone's head, scattered around the house, or mixed in with old mail, you can feel like you are trying to solve a puzzle without all the pieces. That is why paperwork matters. It gives you a place to look when memory is not enough. Because even if you are responsible, even if you are trying, even if you care deeply about your parent, you cannot remember everything, and you should not have to. There is nothing wrong with needing a system. There is nothing wrong with writing things down. There is nothing wrong with having a folder, a binder, a list, or a simple note that says, this is where the important papers are. That is not overdoing it. That is preparation. And preparation can lower the stress before a situation becomes urgent. Paperwork also matters because it can help protect your parents' wishes. This is where the conversation can feel more sensitive. When we start talking about power of attorney, advance directives, wills, insurance policies, funeral preferences, or beneficiary information, it can feel uncomfortable. It can feel too serious. It can feel like you are bringing up something your parent may not want to talk about. And sometimes, your parent may not be ready. But knowing whether these documents exist, where they are located, and who is allowed to use them can make a major difference during a difficult moment. This does not mean you need to have every legal answer figured out today. It does not mean you should guess your way through legal, financial, or medical decisions. For those things, it is important to speak with the appropriate professional. But it helps to know what exists, where it is, whether it is current, who has copies, and who your parent trusts. Because the worst time to search for an important document is when everyone is already scared and trying to make decisions quickly. Sometimes paperwork is not just about the paper. It is about making sure your parents' wishes do not get lost in the confusion. Paperwork can also help you see the bigger picture. When papers are scattered, everything feels separate. A bill here, an insurance card there, a doctor's note in a purse, an appointment paper on the refrigerator. But when you begin to gather or map those papers, patterns start to appear. You may see what bills come every month, which doctors are involved, what insurance policies exist, when medications changed, or what renewals and account notices need attention. That is when paperwork starts to tell a story. It shows what is being handled, what may have been missed, and where your parent may need more support. When the important information is easier to find, you can ask better questions, spot gaps, help with more confidence, and stop carrying so much of it in your head. Paperwork can also reduce family confusion. When no one knows where anything is, confusion can spread quickly. People may assume a document exists, a bill was paid, or someone else knows the details. This is not about taking over your parent's life. It is not about controlling everything. It is about clarity. It is about making sure that if someone needs to help, they are not starting from zero. Now, if you are listening to this and thinking, I would not even know where to start, I want to make this simple. Start with location before organization. You do not have to organize everything perfectly. You do not have to buy supplies right away. You do not have to create a full system today. Before you organize anything, just find out what exists and where it is. Where are the insurance cards? Where are the medical papers? Where are the legal documents? Where are the bills, tax papers, household papers, home documents, car documents, or property documents? Is anything stored online? Who knows how to access it? That first step may sound small, but it is not small. Because once you know where things are, you are no longer starting from a blank space. You have a beginning. And sometimes, the beginning is simply a list. You can create what I like to think of as a paperwork map. A paperwork map is not the documents themselves. It is just a simple guide that tells you where important papers are located. For example, it might say, insurance cards are in the top desk drawer. Medication list is in the red folder. Power of attorney documents are in the file cabinet. Tax papers are in the storage box labeled taxes. Household bills are in the basket near the desk. Medical visit summaries are in the binder. That is it. It does not have to be fancy. It does not have to be perfect. It just has to be useful. Because in a stressful moment, you are not looking for perfect. You are looking for a place to start. And if you are having this conversation with your parent, try to be gentle. Paperwork can feel personal. Some parents may feel private, protective, or worried that you are trying to take control. And some may be overwhelmed because they do not know where everything is either. So the way you approach the conversation matters. Instead of rushing in and saying, we need to organize all of this, you might start smaller. You might say, I want to make sure I know where the important things are in case you ever need help. Or, can we start with just your insurance information? Or, I am not trying to take anything over. I just want to make sure we are not scrambling later. Sometimes the paperwork conversation is really a trust conversation, and trust takes patience. So start with one category. Start with one folder. Start with one drawer. Start with one question. You do not have to solve everything in one sitting. This week, choose one category of paperwork and find out where it is. Maybe it is insurance cards, the medication list, doctor information, power of attorney paperwork, monthly bills, or emergency contacts. Just choose one. Then write down what the document is, where it is located, who knows about it, and whether it needs to be updated. That small step can become the beginning of a much larger sense of relief. Because your parents' paperwork may look like folders, envelopes, cards, and old mail. But in the right moment, it can become the information that helps you make the next call, answer the next question, take the next step, and reduce the feeling that everything is sitting on your memory alone. So no, your parents' paperwork is not just paperwork. It is part of the support system. It is part of the plan. It is part of helping your parent with more clarity and less panic. And if you are in the middle of this right now, please know this. You do not have to organize everything today. You do not have to know everything today. You can begin with one piece of paper, one location, one list, and one small step forward. That small step matters because it can give you a place to start when things feel scattered. If you are helping a parent and you already use something that keeps you organized, a binder, folder, checklist, spreadsheet, app, notebook, or any other tool, please leave a comment. Your idea may help someone else who is trying to figure out where to begin. And if you are just getting started, you can visit the website to request the free Parent Affairs Starter Kit. As always, this video is for general educational purposes only. It is not legal, financial, or medical advice. For decisions involving legal documents, medical care, finances, insurance, or estate planning, please speak with the appropriate professional.